He's also would like to think that since he sees Sauter has some speed, that he can get up there and get at least behind him. So if Sauter's able to work his way around the leader and get one of those 11 laps back, Johnny be in position to take the lead away from Crawford when Sauter goes by.
Again, Johnny Benson running second, chasing that 14 of Rick Crawford. Krista.
That's right, Rick. Rick Crawford, I talked with his crew chief, Cowboy Starlin, this morning, and Cowboy said lap 60 is kind of that magic number, playing the math game. That's where they wanted to get before they planned on coming in. Cowboy said he is so nervous this morning. I said, why? You're on the pole. He said, exactly. I don't want to do anything to screw it up.
I'll tell you what, Johnny Sauter might be screwing it up here pretty soon. He got right on the back bumper of Crawford, our leader.
He's got a very good truck. And when we were talking about Johnny Benson being frustrated with Johnny Sauter, well, Johnny's also up here. He knows he's 11 laps down, but he knows he has a good truck. And he wants to show people that he has a good truck.
And he also wants to get a lap back because a lap might mean a position later in the day. So race car drivers generally, when you have a truck as fast as Sauter's, thinks I can get all 11 of these laps back and have a chance to get a good finish out of this deal. And here he goes. He's getting one of them back right now.
Yeah, take a look at that. Now, just as we were cutting away, you could see the tire smoke. It looked like Rick Crawford locked the front tires up a little bit on that truck, and it allowed Johnny Sauter to make the pass.
Yeah, he may have got in that corner just a little bit too hot, and it definitely locked that left front up. I was watching the Cup race yesterday, standing down in turn number 3, and it's amazing how many. Watch this now. Watch that left front tire on that 14 truck. You see it? Yeah. The letter stop moving. That's because it's locked up, and then Johnny makes a little bit of contact, which I'm sure, even though Rick got in the corner too hot, locked her brakes up, he's still not going to appreciate a truck 11 laps down getting in the back of him. Another view of it there on the right side of your screen. Now they're really stacked up. You've got Johnny Benson all over the rear bumper of that 14, and then look at Hornaday, looks to the inside.
Here comes Hornaday battling for second.
Oh, he hits
gets into the side of him, and Hornaday is going to spin Johnny Benson around.
That was a situation where Ron didn't quite have enough room, and he bounced off the curb. He was down there, he committed to the inside, but he bounced off the curb, and when he did, it shot him out into the one truck of Johnny Benson and turned him around.
We just mentioned the way this race ended a year ago with Kyle Busch knocking Johnny Benson out of the way, and this is very similar.
Look, Ron hits the curb, like you said, Phil, and it knocks him up into the side of the one truck of Johnny Benson. Ron hits the curb or not, Johnny still don't feel very good about him spinning him out.
That's right. You could see when he hit the curb, then it shot that truck up 2 or 3 feet, and that was just enough to make contact with Johnny.
Johnny left him just enough room to get in there, but he didn't leave him any room for an error. And I think maybe Hornaday would have rubbed Johnny, and Johnny wouldn't have spun had he not hit that curb.
I think
but
so
when he
too.
hit the curb, he jumped into the side of Johnny Benson, and around Johnny went.
Adam, you were talking about patience earlier. Maybe those are gone now, that patience?
What's amazing to me is the fact that Benson gets spun out on a short track and only loses 6 positions. He was running second when he got popped by Hornaday. Right now scored in the 8th position, and since they really didn't lose much as far as track position is concerned, they elected to leave him on track. The tires were good, and they didn't want to pit here. They are not yet where they want to be as far as their pit window is concerned.
I think we can say safely that these guys are going to try to pit just one time for tires today. If they're going to try to do it twice, you'd probably seen some guys put them on now. And maybe that is Todd Bodine's strategy, but I'd say Crawford, Hornaday, those guys are looking at 1 pit stop.
Yeah, I think so too.
For tires, they obviously have to make 2. They'll need a little bit of gas too. This will be our first chance to see what maybe these guys are thinking. You got Todd Bodine getting 4 tires. He'll probably come in and get gas and be done pitting, Phil?
I would think so, because there's so few trucks behind him right now. He might as well come on in and get his fuel. Then he knows, depends on how the race plays out, he knows that he can stay out if he wants to, and there he is coming right back to pit road following David Starr into the Zachary Toyota.
Again, the rules in the Camping World Truck Series, you cannot put fuel into the truck and change tires on the same pit stop. So they have to come back around again. He did tires on the first stop, and now they're going to do fuel on this stop.
Now, you know, yesterday we talked about this new tire and how it falls off a little bit more than the old. Yesterday we saw cars be able to run fast times late on their tires. So I like what Todd Bodine's doing right here. I like this strategy. He had to mix it up. He qualified bad. He had to mix it up a little bit, get on a different page, and see if he can make something happen, and that's what this team's trying to do.
Todd Bodine was running 13th, first truck to pit, and they've topped it off with fuel, and back onto the racetrack he will go. we saw two different strategies, differing strategies, and the fact that Todd Bodine put tires on his first stop and then came back in for fuel. The 24 did just the opposite.
Yeah, and I think that's wrong. I think you need to, whatever's going to take the longest, you need to do the first time. And that's what Todd Bodine did. And now he came out several trucks ahead of the 24 of David Starr.
Guess who's going to come back up and have some more fun with his sand?
Johnny Sauter.
He got one back.
Yeah.
Heck, I can get an O, and I believe. And Rick Crawford's thinking, why'd you hit me? Don't do that again.
Rick Crawford still out in front of this field. He's the only one who has led this race. All 50 laps that we have run.
Remember, Rick's a former winner here. He won here back in 2004. He led 82 laps in that win.
I believe if I was Hornaday, I'd get behind that 13. I think, yeah, that's exactly right. 13 got a jump on Rick Crawford. Open the door. Here comes Hornaday.
Hornaday trying to take the preferred line right along the curb, but wow, Crawford powers out of turn 2 and is able to close the door on it.
That was big right there. Dove down in the corner and held off Hornaday.
Look, it's contact right behind this group, right at start finish line. Terry Cook on the inside, Johnny Benson on the outside.
Benson's gone around once already, and it looks like a tight situation there for Terry Cook and Johnny Benson.
Do a little bit of a block on Terry down the straightaway to let him know that he did not want him to get to the inside of him.
Sometimes a block is followed by somebody saying, don't be blocking me, and a pound into the tailgate.
I'm going to say, if we're going to continue to use football terms, we would call that punting here pretty soon too. They might punt someone out of the way.
I think Ron punted Johnny out of the way. Johnny will remember that too.
Got a bit of a gap behind Kevin Harvick, back to Matt Crafton. Matt's running 4th. Kyle Busch at 51 now has made his way up to the 5th spot, right behind that 88 of Matt Crafton. Let's take a look back at the restart Kyle Busch had here. He was behind Timothy Peters. Watch now. You see obviously the 51 truck of Kyle Busch. They're going to get started here. See Timothy Peters have to back off. Kyle had the momentum, just drove to the inside and took over that 5th spot.
NASCAR doesn't allow you to lay back on a restart. You can't leave 2 or 3 truck lengths between you and the truck ahead of you to try to anticipate the start and be able to jump like Kyle Busch did. Kyle was a truck length behind Timothy Peters, but then there was a chain reaction in front of Timothy, made him roll out of the gas, and it gave Kyle the perfect gap to be able to open up and get a position off Timothy Peters.
And just behind Timothy Peters is that one of Johnny Benson. Sounds like there might be some problems, Adam.
There may be, Rick. Johnny just came on the radio and said, I feel like I've got a tire going down on the left side, in particular the left rear. His crew chief Trip Bruce said it looks fine, and then Johnny just came back on the radio and said it seems to be calming down. He rides in the 7th position.
Didn't we have Johnny thinking the same thing last fall here when he was dominating the race? Somebody got into the left rear corner of his truck and he's like, no, my tire's going flat. Now the same thing's happened to him again. Timothy Peters on the inside of Crafton trying to get the spot that Kyle Busch opened up for him. And yes, Peters will dive inside of Crafton.
Kyle took over the 4th spot. Now Timothy Peters is going to drive by to take 5th. I'm telling you, I'm seeing some smoke out of that 17 truck of Timothy Peters.
A little bit of damage, cosmetic.
Look at Terry Cook go to the outside of Johnny Benson.
Terry Cook trying to make the pass on the high side of the racetrack.
Yeah, there is some smoke coming out of the 17, and that's a shame. What a truck he's got this weekend. He's been fast in all the practices.
Boy, Terry trying to hang in on the outside, wasn't quite able to do it. Now he's going to try to duck over in front of that 5 of Mike Skinner. Did not do it in time. Allows Mike to get to the inside in that bad boy Moore's Toyota.
Up in front of him.
Right behind these guys. See Terry Cook on the outside is Dennis Setzer. He's driving that 8 truck. He's into the top 10. He won this race a year ago, knows exactly how to do it.
And he's won 3 times here. I'm telling you, Dennis could drive the pace truck. Oh, Brent Raymer is around over in turn number 4.
So that brings out,
we're gonna come in and work on some more.
Our 4th caution of the day has come out. This time on lap 63.
It's only been about 13 laps since those guys came down pit road. Todd Bodine, David Starr in that group.
Is it time for the leaders to do their pitting and get it over with?
We're getting a little closer to some of the strategies that we heard on pit road, where they said, you know, around 60 to 70 laps, I think we can come in, put fuel in it, and then potentially make it to the end of this race.
There's a replay right there. Brent Raymer had a little help. Look, maybe Chris Fontaine, the 84 truck, got into the back of him. Pit road is open. Most of the leaders stayed out. Brian Scott, the 16 truck, is the first one to come down pit road.